Have you seen these GameCube Nintendo Switch controllers going around on social media? They come apart like Joycons, but there's some things about this hardware that you should know about because it's not just about replicating the Nintendo GameCube controller, because this offers more hardware features than it might look at first glance. On the bottom for both sides you have a mapping button and a turbo button. I'll show you exactly how those work later. If you want to charge these for playing wirelessly, you can just connect it to the middle piece and you can charge them up using one USB port in the middle, which is very convenient for charging both at the same time. Or you can just use these on the sides of your Nintendo Switch. These are Hall effect joysticks, which means you'll never get stick drift with this controller. What you might not know is that you can pop these off, and in the box they give you more options. So you have a couple of extra options for the yellow joystick and a couple of options for the left joystick. You can see I can just pop this cap on really easily, and this allows you to pull the joystick in every direction with this grip. Another option gives you a more modern looking stick where it has the grips on the sides, and it also has a ring around it so you can haul it around. You can see that option's a lot taller as well, so it gives you more of a height option. And the third option is just this little knob here if you prefer that. They give you the same three options for the yellow stick. The sticks do click for L3 and R3. The D-pad does not come off and you don't get options for that. It has a 6-axis gyro sensor for motion controls. And of course up here, just like the Joy-Cons, you have those Nintendo Switch buttons. All the buttons have that classic rubber membrane feel. The controller's really light. It has the classic triggers on the back with the bumpers, and they fit really big in your hands. You can see all my fingers are resting where they should be, and they're a full-size controller. They're pretty thick. If I put this next to the Joy-Con, for example, there's a significant difference. If I turn this around, you can see that there's a couple of extra buttons on the back here. They're very clicky, and you can map these buttons to be whatever you want. These two buttons up here are to release it, just like the Joy-Cons, and both sides release and you're left with this middle piece. You can use these loose like this when you're connected wirelessly, which I personally find very comfortable when you're just sitting back relaxing, playing a chill game. And these do have your SL and SR buttons up here, as well as your player indicator lights. What you will notice with these big controllers that have the triggers right here, when you're holding it like this, your hand has a tendency to push on these. So I tend to put my fingers down here like this and just keep my hand out away from them a little bit. So let's connect this to my Switch and I'll show you how this all works. If you want to connect wirelessly, just hit these buttons here and you'll see the left and the right side will connect, and then you just hit a button 3 times and now I'm connected. When these are connected to your Switch, they are very comfortable. You will feel a little bit of wiggle to them, and it definitely makes it very wide. You can see how long it is. It's kind of like the movie Spaceballs, where the ship just keeps coming in and it doesn't really ever end. Something you should keep in mind about the GameCube style layout is that the X, Y, A, B buttons are pretty different. So just keep that in mind, and you can always remap the buttons different ways. For example, in Mario Wonder, I changed A to jump and B to dash. Whereas normally on the Joy-Con, B would be jump and Y would be dash. So this layout might not be the best for every game, but it is perfect for a lot of GameCube games like Metroid Prime, for example. But overall, it's a lot better than using the Joy-Cons. And I mean, something like this is okay. It's pretty small, but it's usable. It's just when you have an option like this, it's a lot more ergonomic and it's bigger as well. Plus these extra features, which I'll talk about right now. But first, let me give a shout out to doyoky for sending this over to me to review. And if you want 10% off on their website, use my discount code BATPIXEL. It comes in 3 different colors: indigo, black, or platinum, and costs around $65 USD before using my discount code. I'll leave my discount code and links for this down below. They do include this very simple guide that shows you how all the extra buttons work, but I'll just show you how they work in this video. So let's start with this mapping button on the bottom right corner. So if I hit A to make Mario jump, for example, but I'd much rather use this button here at the back to make him jump, then all I have to do is hold on this map button and hit A, and the controller will vibrate. And now when I hit this button at the back, that will make Mario jump. So I don't have to use A anymore. So I'll just give you an example on the left side. If I want Mario to duck by hitting this button at the back, just hold the map button and then duck, and then the controller will vibrate, and now this button at the back makes Mario duck. And if you want to undo what you just mapped for the back buttons, just hold on the M button and then the controller will vibrate and then it'll be cleared out. So now the back button doesn't work to make Mario jump anymore. So you can program both of these buttons at the back using these map buttons to do whatever you want. Now I'll give you an example of the turbo button, which is next to the map button. So if I hold on this and then hit down on the D-pad, you can see now if I hold on the D-pad, Mario will duck like a million times. That's because the turbo button makes whatever button you're pressing just do it really quickly. But if I wanted that button to do that automatically without having me to push it, all you have to do is hold the turbo button and hit down again, and now Mario's stuck in this sequence. But basically what it does is it turbo fires this button over and over and over automatically, so you don't even have to touch it. So obviously it doesn't work very well for Mario, but there's a bunch of games out there where this might work really well, such as a shooter where you have infinite ammo. And if you want to cancel that, just hit down again and he'll stop. And whatever button you set up on this controller that you want to have an automatic turbo button, all you have to do is hit it once and he'll do it again. Now if you want to clear all your turbo settings, all you have to do is just hold on this button and the controller will vibrate, and now if I hit down, it's just back to normal again. So these buttons are pretty easy to use. What you might not know is there's different levels of vibration in these controllers. So there's 100%, 50%, or 0% where you can shut it off altogether. And if you want to go through those 3 vibration modes, all you have to do is hold on the turbo button and cycle through them using the joystick, and you'll feel the controller vibrate. But if you want the vibration to be off on both sides, you'll have to do it for both sides. So I just did it on the left side, so I'll just hold on the turbo button and hit left on my joystick, and that'll turn my vibration completely off on both sides. And now when I jump with Mario, I don't feel a vibration on either side at all. So if I want to turn my vibration up to 100%, just hold on the turbo button and then hit right on the joystick, and I can feel that it's a lot more powerful. Or you can put it back to 50% or 0%. Obviously you'd have to do it on both sides. But yeah, overall this is a great GameCube controller for the Switch, and if you're a GameCube fanatic or you just love these classic controllers, this would be a perfect option for you, especially where there's a bunch of GameCube games for the Switch now, like Metroid Prime. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.